Hi, everybody. My name is Andy Whatley. This is Decanted in the Desert podcast series, courtesy of our friends at the City Magazine El Paso, who we love very much. And our hosts for the show are two infamous wine guys. One of them is Chris Lane, certified sommelier, and Mike Hackett is also a sommelier as of recent times. And what's that one?
Introductory.
Introductory.
Yeah.
And like I always say, what I'm good at is drinking wine. Mm-hmm. And there's no designation for that. There's no certification for that, but I can attest to the level of my expertise by the amount of wine I drink, and that makes me a real freaking expert. So anyway, before we get started doing anything else, I think we're gonna toss to Chris because we're doing something fun today. We're gonna actually drink and talk about wine.
Sure.
And what better thing to do for us in a wine podcast than to actually drink some.
Absolutely. So what we want to do is just kind of give you all a taste, in a way, virtual taste, as we actually taste. But these are wines that were at last year's Wine Fest. They're excellent, excellent wines. And, we have a list of what's coming this year, but we don't actually have the bottles yet. So anyway, these are two of the bottles. I am kind of going through a phase in my life where I strongly prefer white to everything else. I've kind of been stuck in this phase for quite some time. But I'm bringing a really nice French Burgundy, which, as you all should know, it's 100% Chardonnay. This is Côte de Beaune, which is one of the best places to do. And you know how the French love their vowels. This is called Les Guillettes, Geaullettes.
I think I'd like to add real quick that Chris is of French descent, so he's a France expert.
Right. Well, this actually comes from the Haute Côte de Beaune. So Côte de Beaune is the area, and Haute means high, and so you have a slope, right? And you have the highest part of the slope, the middle part of the slope, and the lowest part of the slope. So just for y'all's knowledge, all the best wines come from the middle, like Goldilocks, not too hard, not too soft, just right. So this is actually from the highest part. That's why it says Haute on it. And Bas would be bottom. But this is neither a Grand Cru or a Premier Cru, but it's still an excellent wine. What I love about French Chardonnays is there's almost no oak, very little malolactic fermentation, none of that butter flavor. It's really, in a way, the purest sense of the grape. The monks back in the day, they kind of just left it up to God. They let the grapes grow the way they grew, and they just picked them, and they crushed them, and they put them in barrels, and that's it. They did not mess with anything, which is really a wonderful, wonderful thing. And many, many centuries later, they got paid off by being the most expensive wine in the world.
Today, we're going to get paid off by actually tasting this. While you're pouring, by the way, Mike, why don't you fill us in on what's happening with the Wine Fest coming up, because it's almost here, and this is the biggest event in El Paso.
Been working all year getting this thing going. So we start out Thursday with a little special event for our sponsors, and then Friday we have a trade event for the restaurateurs and stuff. But the big day is Saturday from 1 to 4. Downtown here, and we'll have 500 wines, 24 different food stations. You come in and taste anything you want for all just one price. Sunday, we have the gastronomic battle going on where Southwest University is going to come out, and the students are going to have a big competition. Looking good. You're making me talk. This isn't fair. This is not fair.
I know. You'll get a sip. Your reward is coming at the end of your promo for Wine Fest.
Yeah, so Sunday they have this great competition with the students out of Southwest Culinary Institute, and we actually pair up some of the wines, and we bring some beer in there from microbrews and things, and pair that stuff up and see how it comes out. But it's going to be a great weekend. Weather's going to be fantastic. And then, of course, you got everything available at elpasowinefest.com.
And just one thing I want to add to this, because it is the Rotary Club of El Paso, which we are all members of, that the charities of the organization fully benefit from all the proceeds that come in. So this is a huge fundraiser for us. It's our most important and largest of the year, and we fund a lot of cool programs, from our RotaCare free medical clinic to our Christmas children's party for 4,500 Head Start children that we've been doing for over 100 years. I mean, all the money goes for a really good cause. So it's great fun for a great cause, and it's all at elpasowinefest.com. Let's get back to wine now.
Yeah, this is, I like to think of it, I hope this doesn't sound, this is a very French thing to say, but white wine is kind of like that shy girl in the corner at the party. She takes some getting, it takes a while to get to know her. And once you do, it's amazing. Or it could be a guy too. I don't know if you know that nobody in Johnny Depp's high school remembers him. Nobody does. They don't remember that he was there.
Wallflower.
Yeah, basically. I mean, he was just that really interesting person. He was not the football jock. He was not anything else. He was just that super interesting person. I think that's what white wine is for me. It takes a little while to get used to. I mean, red wine's kind of like the girl dancing on the table. So it's not real hard to get to know her. I mean, she's out there and it's big and it's in your face. And don't get me wrong, it's great wine. Of course it is. But this just takes a little bit more work, and I like the challenge.
Can you hold that label up to the camera? I want to make sure that we're showing off that label because this is a really, really nice wine. Will this one be at the Wine Fest again this year?
I'm not sure. Actually, I didn't do my homework. I'm not sure if it will. We try our best to not repeat as much, I mean, we don't want to have the same thing over and over and over again, but we do leave it up to our distributors to. We don't interfere too much with their business, and this is great for them too because they bring what they want to show off, and we try it, and hopefully we buy it, and we all should. And this is the perfect way. I don't know how many times you've been at a restaurant and you're like, that bottle looks interesting, or even at a store, you're like, that looks interesting, but should I really risk the $50 that it costs to buy it and open it? Well, here you can taste. What do we have? 400 and
500.
So 400 to 500 wines that you get to taste, just a sip. Remember, this is a tasting; it's not a drinking.
400 sips.
Yeah, it's over 400.
500 sips.
It's a lot. It's a lot.
I think I'm going to limit myself. I think as a select group.
I think this is probably if you're into wine at all, you can't miss this because this gives you the opportunity to taste so many wines. And these are the wines that are in El Paso. These are distributors from El Paso, so these wines are in El Paso. Sometimes when you go off to France or you go off to Napa or California, anywhere on the West Coast, you see these great wines and you love them, but you can never get them in El Paso because they're not picked up by any distributors. What's great about our event is these are all wines that are already here.
So you're going to find them locally at Specs.
Exactly.
Or
They can find them right there in our wine store.
Yeah.
They can order them.
As a matter of fact, that's a good point that we do sell wine at really good prices during and a couple days before and are deliverable during the Wine Fest, right?
Right. But they cannot consume it on site. So this is all.
Right. Yeah.
Come taste, find out what you love.
Buy it, take it home, and
Take it
put
home.
it in your.
Talk about the label. French wines are so great.
Oh yeah, well,
because they tell you where they're from, right?
Right.
You get so much information on an old world wine. I think
it's kind of funny because they get kind of beaten up because they don't normally tell you the grape because you're supposed to know that.
Right.
But what they do tell you that a lot of American labels don't do is they tell you exactly where it's from. I mean, this one's even telling me not just the region. Let's pretend it was Napa. And they would in Napa too. It'd be Rutherford and stuff like that. But where in Calistoga is this made? This is telling you right here on the label. So I love them, and they're pretty. They're old school, and I like them.
You know what I think would be interesting, Mike? I mean, I like it from both of you is to tell me when you smell, when you taste, what do you experience here? What are you tasting? I'm always fascinated by
for this one.
when people describe, and I'm not good at that myself. I can taste those different descriptions that I hear all the time, but I'm really not good at that. But what are you getting here?
just a crispness off the nose. I'm trying to nail down the fruit. It's like a green apple.
Absolutely. A lot of stone fruit, kind of the apricot peaches way in the back.
Peachy, I get, yeah.
A lot of times we use the green vegetables to describe this. This does not have pyrazines in it, so there will not be any green bean or asparagus or any of those type flavors in the back. We're talking tertiary. We're talking way, way back there. But I like to think, there's... I remember
I'm getting a lot a off the taste than off the nose.
Yeah.
I'll always give the same answers when I sip something.
Well, it depends on
I'm
the
getting
wine.
some asparagus here, and I think kumquat. I'm feeling kumquat is kind of in the background
Right.
here, kind of on the tail end of the lip.
So one thing I like to think about when you're tasting wine is that the only sense of all our senses that we don't use is our hearing. So on a red wine, my first decision on red wine is actually made with my eyes. My first decision on white wine is actually made with my nose, whether it's aromatic or not aromatic. But the feel, people say, well, feel? What do you mean feel? Yeah, no, your mouth. Mm-hmm. It's how it feels in your mouth. And this is, the acidity is very high. It's got a good backbone, stands up, well. Obviously no tannins or anything like that, but the acidity and the alcohol is just exactly right. This one of the beautiful things about, I think, old world wines that they really, really focus on is balance. You know, not too much acidity, not too much alcohol, not too much, just everything. Côte Rôtie is actually known for this. That's one of the real things that they're known for is the perfect balance. Everything is equal, and that's hard to do.
You know what I'm also curious about is what do you I've really gotten into, since becoming involved with you guys, I've really become a lot more into pairing different foods with different wines and enjoying that mixed flavors that you get when you're eating a particular thing. What do you see pairing with this?
This would be awesome with some good cheeses.
Absolutely.
Actually, even with the high acidity, you can get into it with a light cream sauce.
Obviously, we all know fish, but
everybody goes to fish. And
exactly, but even the French. I mean, there is only one thing to drink with oysters, and the French treat oysters just about as high as caviar or foie gras or something like that. I mean, oysters are super, super highly held in France, and it's always Chardonnay. Almost. I mean, I know the people in Nantes are going to disagree with me, but most people talk about oysters and Chardonnay.
So it might even go with my, you know what I'm going to say, might even go with my Rombauer Chardonnay.
Right. Well, the soil here, by the way, is calcareous limestone. So this is ocean floor. So you can see the walls. You know, the monks made a wall around every clos. And in the stones of these walls are just thousands and thousands of seashells. So you know that's going to transfer to the wine at some point, way in the back there somewhere. But seashells, oysters on shells, I mean, it's kind of a no-brainer.
So one of the things I think, back to the Wine Fest just for a second, I mean, with 500 wines, you're bound to find some wines that you're going to love. I mean, some people tell me that haven't been historically inclined to drink wine regularly, like to come to this because they're going to discover what they like. Because a lot of them say, I don't really know what I like. Sometimes I have a wine, I don't like it. I go, with 500, you're going to find something you like.
Sure. And lots of people go around and take pictures, of course. I'm old school. I like to write things down. We're going to actually have really cool little books this year. We've never done this before. Distributors asked us to do this. Little pencils, little golf pencils, and books can be found everywhere. You can grab one as soon as you walk in and just start writing down everything you want. And what's really interesting about this is every station has a number on it, and then every wine is going to have a letter on it. So it's very easy to keep track of. 54C. I really liked 54C, and it was, as I normally scribble, and my scribbling gets worse as the afternoon progresses. But you can keep very good track of what you've been tasting and what you like.
And we have they're all going to be inside the app too, right? Because I know we have an app you can download and then place your order like that. Yeah.
And be sure and get the app downloaded so you can vote on your favorite food station. So we do have a competition on Saturday that our attendees vote on. They get to pick their favorite food station. I've got bets on one, but I shouldn't say. I have to bring one up. Actually, a couple. Something that's unique this year. We have 6 Italian wineries who are coming over to us from the Taste of Italy, and a lot of people on
from Italy. These guys are coming from Italy.
So they're attending here,
yes,
and these are residents of Italy who
correct
are coming to El Paso for their event and then ours. Correct.
There's an event that takes place every year called the Taste of Italy. These gentlemen travel around this country.
Tough job.
The Italian government subsidizes this and pays for their visas and their travel.
Wow.
And there was, about 30 of them last year?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, there was a lot.
Well, I want to apply for that job.
Yeah.
I want to apply for the job. I want to be on their team.
No kidding.
I'll be their advanced promotion person or something. I have something I can do, I'm sure.
So we told these guys last year, they were in El Paso. We told them about our event. They were in Dallas recently, and they decided they really wanted to see what our event was about. So 6 of them are coming over, as well as a truffle vendor who's going to be bringing some truffles and pasta. So we're going to have some truffle pasta, which will go amazing.
Yum. Could you talk a little about what else you got today?
First, did you all want to hear some of my favorite sounds?
Oh, yes.
What is the one?
Absolutely.
I mean, some people say their favorite sound is the sound of lingerie hitting the floor, which is fairly quiet.
I understand that one.
You have to, but this is one of mine.
Music. That's music to one's ears. Now, that's the best moment because now we know what happens after that as you pour and you drink.
Sorry,
I love that. Those were excellent sound effects. And by the way, folks, that really happened with that bottle. That was not a dubbed-in sound effect that we put onto this. This is Chris.
Then after this white, I'm just craving some grilled halibut with asparagus.
Mm-hmm.
Nice.
I like halibut and
lemon
and
caper
asparagus.
sauce on it.
Like 'em
and
both.
It'd just be amazing.
So tell us a little bit about this thing you just opened. Mike?
Chiron.
Mike, take it from there.
So Chiron's from a, which camera are we showing the label to?
Well, I think if you just hold it up, she'll.
That one over there.
That one up there? Okay.
That corner over there.
Oh, this one. This one. That one's on you. Just hold it up to.
Over here.
That's one that you're looking at because it's looking at you.
Okay. Chiron's from a little area called Knights Valley. And actually, it's not real popular, but it's a unique area where you're going to find some amazing
Knights
wines.
Valley, where?
Knights Valley is on the eastern side of Sonoma, right
Oh,
at the
okay.
bottom of St. Helena. So you get the soil down below, very loamy, or not loamy, more fine soil.
So you said it was a Cabernet Sauvignon?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's plenty. We get the sound effect of the dragging the wine glasses over the table and the clunk and the reverberation that makes on the microphones.
It's crazy.
Not as cool as a cork popping or squeaking. So a little bit more.
So
on this.
it was interesting, and you start studying wine, you turn into a geography nerd because you start looking at the mountains, and Selena's on one side, and I believe it's the McCamus Mountains on the other, and then San Francisco's all the way down south here below Napa, and you go up through Napa, past Hellsburg, and then up into the Sonoma County, and that valley just draws up, and that's where you'll find Knights Valley, this little area tucked off to the corner. And in reading about it, it's just some amazing wines that come out of there. A lot of on-premise or small wineries up there.
This is wonderful. This is delicious.
I don't think Sonoma's finally hit their stride yet. It's my
Yeah.
my opinion. I mean, Napa has. I think. I mean, we all know what Napa can do. And don't get me wrong. Even though my palate's in old world for the last couple of years, I mean, there's no doubt. I think Napa might be the best place in the world to grow.
Can you share-
Cabernet Sauvignon?
Good information. Could you tell us a little bit more about that wine? Because it's going to be the last one we're going to be able to talk about because we're running out of time. But
It's a class. I haven't gotten to taste it yet. So tell me, what kind of nose do you get off of this, Andy? What kind
I can't answer that because I'm just not good at that. What I am telling you is that I love the flavor, and I would definitely, as a matter of fact, I'm gonna make a note of this. I'm gonna buy some of that.
This is, by the way, very expensive.
When you say that, what are we talking about? Retail?
$240, I think.
$240.
Yeah.
Well, maybe I'll only buy one bottle.
$220.
I'm not buying a
Moonlight,
case at
so-
$240 a bottle.
I do know that we will have some Chiron, not the Painted Moonlight. They have another bottle of wine on there. I believe it's around 100, 120, which I bought previously.
Wow.
Amazing wine. I had not had this one myself. This is a 2019. 2019 was a great year in California for wine.
Yeah.
Another thing you start following, I think, is the years of varietals. 2018, 2019 are just really great years for wine, both in Europe and in the United States.
18 and 22 are epic years in Bordeaux. 18 and 22. So it's kind of hard to find any 18s anymore. Well, first of all, 5, 10, 15 were epic, but they're pretty well, you can't find those anymore except for collectors. 18 you can still find, but look for the 22s, y'all. I mean, there's a lot of 22s out there, and there.
Yeah.
22 is an epic year, so
All,
there were
all good to know.
only 3 epic years in the 20th century, and we've already had 5 in the 21st century. So
Well, we're pretty much
hurrah
out
to
of time here.
global warming.
We're pretty much out of time here, so I think just one more thing. One more time, ElPasoWinefest.com has all the information, has the sponsors, the restaurants listed. There's a link to buy the tickets online. You can buy VIP, you can buy general admission. It's a fabulous event. I don't think there's anything like this in our area. I say that because everyone that goes knows. They go, wow, I call it the big one. This is the big wine and food event in this region.
We've been to the other ones in the region.
Yeah.
We're the only one in this area that does all these different wines. Everybody else is focused on a specific
I know even
source.
in New Mexico, some of the wine fests up there, they only do New Mexico wines. We do wines from around the world.
110 wineries from around the world.
Yeah, it's amazing.
This
So,
is-
so ElPasoWinefest.com, Chris Lane, Mike Hackett, Andy Whatley. We hope to see you at the Wine Fest. If not, we'll see you back here on the next edition of Decanted in the Desert. Thank you guys so much.
Thank you.
Cheers.
Cheers. That's another favorite sound.
Quite a long time. But I have a little surprise for you, Mike. You mentioned as you were studying for your level 1 that you had never had a crew Beaujolais. So I brought you one. I thought
did
I
you?
came across. Actually, I was looking for that wine, and I came across this wine. So I thought you should try it. It's very different. You know, as you know, Beaujolais has a really bad reputation. Not really, really bad, but they kind of shot themselves in the foot with the Nouveau Beaujolais,
The
right?
Nouveau Beaujolais thing, and that's all I know about Beaujolais. So back when Mark Hines owned the Greenery, he used to do wine tastings out there, and he was so excited about the Beaujolais when it came out. And Mary Jane and I were just starting our wine journey, if you will. She was still drinking white Merlots. I was really into Pinots, starting to get into cabs. And so we went over there, and she kind of liked that Beaujolais because it was that sweet fruit, super strawberry bubble gum. And I was like, not my thing. So it really turned me off. And then I started reading about how good Beaujolais can be. So this is really exciting.
One of the
This is
things
special.
that a lot of people forget to know too is that because this whole Nouveau Beaujolais, whatever happened,
It was a
happened, right?
marketing thing,
It was a marketing thing, but there's regular Beaujolais.
Yes.
There's Nouveau and there's regular, but what a lot of people don't realize there's actually Cru Beaujolais. So it was on my level 2 test, but just so you're aware, do you remember how many there are? How many crus? Yeah.
Beaujolais? No.
Yep. Yeah, 11. There's 11 Cru Beaujolais. And this is one of them. This is Morgon, which is very famous. Moulin à Vent is probably one of the best known, but this is Morgon, which is just a little higher up. And this is like, as a lot of parts of France have done, they have decided that, hey, man, like, we are a little better than this or that, or wherever you are, Côte Coty, or, we're on the slope, we're not on the flat. I mean, there's, we're Côte Blonde or Côte Brune or something like that. So these guys, I forgot exactly what year it was, but they decided to make sure that they had special regions for this. So this is Beaujolais, which is, the Gamay grape. And it's made to be light. It's supposed to be light. So some purists say, well, what they're doing up there now is not as pure as it used to be because they keep making heavier and heavier wines up there. But I don't know. I love it. So anyway, here we go. So this is the Gamay grape, one of the highest quality expressions of the Gamay grape. So here you go. You see the light color?
Yeah. I smell the sweet, though.
So-
Fruitiness.
It's still carbonic maceration.
Okay.
So yes, it's
Oh,
big,
but it's
big
opening up.
strawberry.
Such a difference. Just
So when Andy was in here, he was asking us about what we taste and stuff like that, and I pointed out about the eyes, but there are only 5 grapes that don't stain the glass. So when you swirl this back and forth, for a millisecond, most red wines leave a little shadow for a millisecond. They stick to the glass. There's only 5 grapes that don't do that, and this is one of them. So when you're taking your test, this is one you hope. This would actually be an easy one on a test. They probably don't put it on the test very often because I think it's so easy.
well, the smell.
The smell.
Strawberries right off the bat. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. No, it's strawberry. A lot of people,
I can't get past the strawberry. on
right?
my
No, it's
nose,
strawberry,
but
and you don't get. I mean, it's normally like raspberry and blueberry and darker fruit, plums and things like that. I know.
something a little earthy though too. I get a little. I won't say dirt. I don't know what it is. Herb in there.
Yeah, it's.
Some kind of herb.
But this is bigger than the normal Beaujolais. So. Oh my God!
Wow.
Right? Never had a Beaujolais like that.
No.
I bet you never thought a Gamay could do that.
No.
But still,
Holy.
look at the acid, like off the
Yeah.
chart, man. I mean, wow, it's so good, right?
Wow.
And these are hard to find in America. They really are.
Well, yeah. Nobody wants to do. That's so unique. That's
Right.
just you can't mass produce this. You can't just crank this out. And I think that's what America's still about, volume. Mm-hmm. And what I'm learning about France is there's more about it's the art still.
Right. They don't care.
The artisans are there.
They really don't care. I mean, because they're
Don't get me
artists.
wrong. There's some artisans in California.
No, no doubt.
And I
Of
think
course.
Chiron's is an example.
Right.
Not huge producers making great bottles, but
No doubt. This is.
wow.
But I do think the old world is a little bit more about I want to live a proud life. Maybe not as great a life as I could if I made millions and millions, but more of a proud life. Like I want to be proud of what I do, and that fulfills me more than money does.
I noticed that when we've traveled to Europe, there's, I don't want to say a stigma. There's a pride in the family restaurant, right? The family owns it. They're waiters, they're cooks, they're chefs, they're dishwashers. There's no shame in what position they have.
Exactly.
They're just proud that they belong to that family and that supports their family, and they do fine.
Exactly. You're exactly right. And it's something America's kind of struggling with right now.
Right. We've got a little.
Everybody has to be a doctor. You know, come on.
Yeah.
We got to fill all the positions, and we got to treat them all correctly.
Somebody's go out there and
Yeah, for sure.
clean your toilets.
Absolutely. And,
Whatever.
you know, but to have honor in that.
gotta have
But
blunders
this
and-
is.
Wow. This is
So I have a good story, not about this, not
you, my
about
friend.
crew. Sure. no.
Wow. This is awesome.
Not about crew, but about Nouveau. So what happens, you all, for those that don't know, gosh,
I forgot we were recording.
I forgot what year it was, but I think it was in the early '60s. Somebody came up with this idea about Nouveau Beaujolais and the allure of getting a wine off the vine and crushed and made
fermented
into
in
a real
6
wine.
weeks.
Yeah, in 6 weeks, exactly. So I believe the release date was 11/11. I mean, it's such a magic number. It's Armistice Day of World War I, what we call Veterans Day in America, and that's when they would release it. So it had to be really. So think about this. Like in a cool year, maybe you don't harvest till
October?
beginning of
it's
October.
September? Yeah.
I mean, gosh. So we're talking. There's not a lot of time, in the barrel, but there was a beauty to it too. And if you've had it, I remember a wonderful friend of mine, Parker, one time up in Cloudcroft, and Nouveau Beaujolais had just come off. There was snow already on the ground. He had this old vintage car, convertible from the, I don't know, 20s, I think it was, and he called it Henry. And we went driving around Cloudcroft with helmets that had horns coming out the sides of them, drinking Nouveau Beaujolais, and it was magical. There was a point to it. That was not a moment
You
for.
must have been in your 20s.
Yeah, for sure. It was not a moment for like a really deep, sophisticated, complicated wine.
Right.
It was a moment for a simple wine that made you happy. And so I don't want to completely crush. Get the
No,
pun.
because I think that's what
but
it was all about.
it was.
Simple and happy.
There would
Let's
be
have a
there would
party.
there
Yeah.
would be there would be motorcycle races to see who could get the first bottle to London, and all sorts of things. So I mean, it was fun, and there's still a place for it. There's a place for simple.
Time and place for everything.
There is. So simple pleasure is there's a place for that too.
Yeah.
I mean, you don't always want to have to think about your wine.
I can tell you, after tasting this, I will not have a problem going to a local wine distributor and buying a bottle of Grand Cru Beaujolais
Now-
and sharing it with my family. Pairing it with something.
So by the way,
that
they
high
just
acidity
call
is-
it Cru. I know it's weird. They don't call it Grand Cru
Oh,
or
Cru.
Premier Cru. They just call it Cru.
Just Cru.
I know it's a little strange, but you're right. It pairs with tons. By the way, one of the best things, one of the hardest things to pair in America is Thanksgiving dinner. Thanksgiving dinner is everything. You have the whole gamut.
Yeah.
Gamut, get it? But you do. You got cranberry sauce, which is super high acidity. You've got dressing, you've got stuffing, you've got turkey, you've got green beans, you've got everything on the planet pretty much. And to pick one wine that goes with all of that,
I never do. I end up picking a couple. Yeah.
Exactly.
I've got a white and a Pinot.
Right.
I usually go Pinot and a Chard. Or
exactly.
Sauvignon Blanc.
If you can get your hands on a case of Cru Beaujolais, you have the same thing all night long, and it'll be fantastic.
And we'll take a case with my family.
It's a wonderful
We
thing.
like Thanksgiving.
But yeah, such a unique
I
smell.
can do smoked turkey and roasted turkey, and they both handle it. Oh yeah.
No, this is really amazing.
That's crazy good.
So does our technician want a glass?
Bring your Oh, you've got to try this.
So we have to always thank our
You're a wine
technician
lover.
because she's amazing. So
Thank you guys.
Cru Beaujolais.
Thank you. Yeah, I'd love to see the reactions, the description. So the acidity doesn't kick in till like after, like
Yeah.
the aftertaste, right? Okay.
Yeah, at the very end. So that was one of my hardest things was understanding rim variation, because when you tilt your glass over like this and the middle is
You wanna
darker.
go right to the
No,
dark.
but it's of course it's darker in the middle because it's thicker.
Oh, yeah.
So I always had a physics problem. I was looking at physics too much. Well, of course it's darker, but it's not about that. It'll always be darker. But what you're looking for is how much variation. So don't focus on the fact that of course the middle's going to be darker. Focus on it'll always be darker. So how much variation is in this one, and how much variation is in the next one,
Okay.
and that has a big thing to do with age. So where I apparently didn't do they never tell you what you scored on your sommelier tests,
For two?
but well for anything I don't
I
think.
got my level 1.
But they tell you what your score was.
Yeah,
Oh, that's new.
I got my back.
Yeah, but what like
86.
oh really?
Yeah.
Oh, that's new because when
Yeah.
I did mine they
And
didn't.
they even showed me, I think, which ones I had wrong. I have to go back and look at it.
Oh well, that's good. Well, it's constructive because that's what
It
level
was,
one.
yeah.
That's
And-
what level 1 is for.
And I know 2 of the questions I had answered wrong. I knew I answered them wrong by the time I left the room, but I'd already turned the paper in.
Right. So at level 2, all they give you is a sheet of paper and tell you what to work on. So obviously, I got
Sure.
age wrong a lot, and because there's different levels of that too. That's in your tasting also, which is the very first test, and maybe in the questions, which is your second test. But whatever it was, they said, dude, you got to work on your age. So I've been working on that a lot of
Okay,
the
try-
vintages and try to
vintages.
figure out how old the wine is, and one of those is rim variation, which I have a terrible problem with. So working on rim variation, but aging a wine just by looking at it and tasting it and knowing this is 1 year old, 3 years old, 5 years old, 10 years old, 20 years old. That's hard.
Got it.
So apparently I didn't do too well on that, but I passed.
I
So
guess
who
well.
cares?
In our blind tastings, I was on with them, but it is a lot about that. I think the color, and to me, it's also on the flavor as well. When you're tasting, you can, whether it's all there, right? Is it fully developed, or is it still green? Is it gone,
sure.
like we tasted the other night when we had some
Right.
of those wines that were already played out? I took the Trefethen home, and Mary Jane, I didn't tell her. I said, poured it for her out, and we were sitting on the porch. I said, so that's Trefethen. She said, no, it's not.
Huh? So she could
That's
taste. But
It lost its punch. Where is it? It's not all there. I said, well, it was the way it was
it's
stored.
passed. Right.
It wasn't bad wine.
Well, we don't know. We don't know exactly what happened, but whatever it is, it's past.
It was past its prime.
It's over the hill. It's not bad,
No, it wasn't bad.
just over the hill.
Corked.
Exactly.
It was
Exactly.
just okay.
And think of that, some of these Bordeaux's go 40, 50 years before they get to that
That's
point.
what's hard to imagine.
I know. And it's, how in the world, I know that the old world has 1,000 years on us, but damn, why do Bordeaux's last
So,
forever?
When I was doing the Psalms, you have 4 or 5 level 4 Psalms come in.
Yeah,
And one of the guys actually tasted a Jeffersonian wine.
really.
He said, "Yep, somebody brought one out and said it was amazing." And I thought, "Really?
Come
Nah." I don't know. I don't know that I bought that.
It's not just how old it was, but you can only imagine how well it was stored through the entire 19th century
Yeah, since 17.
and 20th century.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, maybe somebody figured it out, let's say early in the 20th century, and they stored it well after that. But, I mean,
He said it wasn't over the top, but it was amazing to have the experience. I think it was more about the experience to him and being able to taste wines and to talk to those guys and hear them talk about drinking wines from 1955 or, the 50s. And how they'd love to get into a 40s, but there was very little wine left over from Europe in the 40s because of World War II, and there's
And of the epic years in the
what was
20th
it,
century,
45.
45, right? I mean,
45.
against all odds.
Yeah.
I mean, against all odds. 45. Can you imagine those guys? Like
Oh.
the Nazis just moved out,
And these guys get to drink that.
yeah,
stuff.
exactly.
It's
So
like,
so
what do I got to do to be that smart to do that?
D-Day was June 6th, 44. So by the time you pushed everybody out, and I understand that was Vichy, but still, there's lots of control. There's a great book to read if you want to. It's just fun to read, and it's called Wine and War.
Oh, really?
But yeah, it's a great book. I have a copy. I'll give it to you. And it's just about what the French did during World War II. Like, of
Well,
course,
you think about it, it's kind of like our Prohibition time during the 20s. when
kind
we
of. Well,
couldn't make
yeah.
more.
The Nazis took it all.
Yeah.
Goering himself took it all.
He stole all the good French wine. And
Right.
then what were the French doing in the meantime? You know, that was their livelihood.
Hmm. Yeah, they hid a lot of it. They sabotaged it a lot. I mean, it's a simple read. I think it's a 150-page book,
Okay.
but it's a good book. But anyway, how in the world at 45? Well, it's just a God thing, right? I mean, it
Yeah.
just happened to be a good year. You know, you never can pick it, right?
Man, thank you so much for this.
Sure, man.
This is
Isn't it?